Hey everybody, welcome back to Coach's Corner. I am Coach Sports Editor Jack Fletcher, and sitting here next to me is Jenna Sanders. She will be doing our Coach's Corner this week with girls soccer coach John Bowen.
Afternoon.
Coach Bowen, how you doing today?
Doing well. Can't complain.
All right, sweet. I'm gonna go ahead and let Jenna jump into some questions for you.
All right, what we got?
All right, so last night at the Whitewater game, I know you guys won 4-0. How do you think that game was different from from the St Pius game where you guys got scored on?
Biggest difference is just the level of competition. St. Pius is a little bit step above where Whitewater's at. But for the most part, we played well last night. St. Pius was our first venture into somebody that can play. Most of the teams we've been playing are region teams where you got a lot of girls there that don't play soccer most of the time. They're just learning the game, and so those games turn out to be a whole lot different than when you play Pius, where everybody on their team plays year round, or even Whitewater, where everybody pretty much plays year round, maybe just not as high as level as Pius. So it's a little bit different. We played well, but Pius is a different beast altogether.
Yeah. So whenever you were going into the penalty kicks with St. Pius, how did you expect that to go? Did you expect to win at that point, or did you expect that it was going to be a really difficult time?
It's always kind of a crapshoot. You don't really know what you're going to get. It depends on a lot of things. Our best PK, one of our better PKs got saved. One of the ones we didn't hit as well went in. So you never really know what's going to happen. But as far as expecting, we always expect to win. We don't step on the field without expecting that. It's one of those things that we talk about every time.
So you guys are on a shutout streak in the region, not letting anyone score on you. So how have you guys been working towards that and achieving that?
We have different sets of practice that we're really focused on defense. Our defense is pretty settled because we've had more or less the same back four for going on 7 games now, so they've developed a pretty good understanding. We've talked about different things where, if this happens, we react this way. If that happens, then we react a different way. And so everybody's, for the most part, on the same page. We can't read a lot into the region shutout streak yet because we really haven't played anybody that, we've had some threats, but you can probably count on one hand how many threats we've had in all the region games we've played so far. So when we have the ball all the time and we are constantly on the attack, it makes defense a whole lot easier. I didn't think we played bad against Pius. So the 2 goals we gave up, one was deflected and the other was a PK where everybody's kind of like, seriously, you gave a PK for that? But it is what it is, and the best thing about the Pius game was just being able to come back because we were down 1-0, and then we were down 2-1, and came back both times, and then won in PKs. But the region will get more entertaining as we start playing Union Grove, when we play Northgate, when we play McIntosh. If we finish the season without giving up a goal, now we got a story. But right now, we just have a start.
So in your region games, you mentioned a couple of the teams. So what are you guys going to do to try to beat those teams and continue your shutout streak going in?
We just more or less pay attention to what we do well and try to make sure that what we do well, we do even better. So we have a basic plan we've got a set, we've got people that play certain spots, and we have expectations for people in those spots. And it's just a matter of progressing through the season and getting better as we go. We talked last night after the Whitewater game, it was all right, our season's half over. So we've got 9 more games and we've got the state playoffs, and everybody's always looking forward to that, but we need to realize that, all right, we're slowly running out of time now. So we can't afford to take a day off at practice. We can't afford to just not pay attention. We can't afford to, I don't feel like doing that today. We just can't. We've got to take advantage of the time we have and make sure that we are getting better, both individually, but especially collectively as we go forward. Our goal each year is to be playing our best ball at the end of the season and kind of build into that. And now that we're starting to hit some teams, Pius was number 1 in 4A, or number 1 in the state of Georgia when we played them. Harrison, who we play Friday, is ranked in the top 2 or 3 and top 10 overall, in 6A, and then top 10 overall in the state. Huge power programs. East Coweta, Northgate, Marist. Now we get to teams that are really going to push us. So as far as growing and getting better, we're really kind of just starting because we haven't had that up till now.
All right, so why don't you talk a little bit about Lauren Yas, beating the record, just kind of how she's been improving over the season.
Yeah, she's done very well from her freshman year. She had the big struggle this year with just having been injured in June and getting fit and getting ready to go, getting used to, it's more a mental thing than anything, just overcoming okay, I've been injured. She was playing really, really well last year, and then when she got hurt, it's kind of like you go all the way down to the bottom and you have to start over again. So we talked about that several days about, hey, okay, you're going to have days where you feel like you should quit soccer because it's just not working like it used to, and you're going to have other days where everything feels perfectly normal. And so the goal has always been to have her develop and have more and more of those days where she's feeling like herself and forgetting about the injury and forgetting about the brace and just kind of forgetting and letting go and just playing. And so you can see that it started off like we figured in moments. There's times when it looked, and now we're getting longer and longer stretches, and the further we go in the season, the more those stretches will combine and hopefully get even longer. Her breaking the record's been really nice. I mean, we do have, full disclosure, we've tried to get every goal possible that has ever been scored here, and we haven't been able to do that. But we have a pretty good number of things that we've had, and so with all the information we've got, she now leads in goals, assists, points, everything across the board. She's a very good player. She's been starting since she was a freshman, and she's managed for the most part in high school to avoid injury. So she had lots of times. She likes to always talk about, well, we played a lot of teams that aren't very good sometimes, and it's like, okay, everybody does that. Nobody scores a lot of goals without playing teams that maybe aren't very good. But she also had the game winner in the state championship. She scored big goals at big times and had big influences on big games for us. So she's just really developed into one of those players that you kind of count on every day.
Yeah, of course. So thank you, Coach.
Thank you very much for joining us today, Coach.
No problem.
Coach Bowen has been sending us a little recap of most of the games for girls soccer, so hop on to theprowlernews.org to read those. Most of them have been edited by Jenna here. Anyway, thank you again for joining us, and
You guys come back
join us
anytime.
next time on Coach's Corner. Yes, thank you. We will.